Okay, so now I'm recording this for Olive Garden. Alright, so this is the Olive Garden application. When you click on the link, olivegarden.pythonanywhere.com for your portal, it brings you there. So when you want to log in, you simply click on this and you can log in. Here, you select your username and password, you put it in there, and you can log into the application. Once you have logged in, you are going to be landing in the admin application, especially if you log in with an admin username and password. So just like me here, I'm logging in with an admin username and password. I'm going to enter the secondary school. That's why I've clicked enter here in the secondary school, as you can see. So now that I've clicked enter here in the secondary school, the system will load and take me into the admin. Remember, it depends on the network. Alright, so I'm in the admin portal here. The first thing you can do is, let us say you want to add another admin staff. So you simply go to staff, click on add a staff, and you put in their information. When you put in the information, so I'm going to try to add an accountant. So let's just say finance officer, and then we select finance here, and then we submit. So with this now, the system is going to create a finance officer. As you can see now, we have a finance officer. We already have an accountant, but I just created a finance officer also, so they can both log into the account portal because they are both finance. So that's it. So we have an admin username and password there, meaning we've created an admin staff for that. Okay, so we go on. So after creating the admin staff and all of them, the first thing we want to do is create the classes. When the classes have been created, then we can create the subjects. So we first look at all classes. Let's look at all the classes we have in the system. Here we have just 2 classes. So I'll be adding one more class. So I'm clicking on classes and I'm going to click on add a class. So clicking on add a class now, I'm adding one more class. So I'm going to be adding JSS1A to the system. So when I click on submit like that, JSS1A has been added. All I have to do is go to classes to see the list of my classes, and I have JSS1A. So as you can see, JSS1A has been added to the system. So once you have a class, the next thing you want to do is add subjects. Remember, add all your classes and all your subjects before you start adding the students. So when the next thing you want to do is add a subject, so you click on add a subject. Let's add a subject to GS1 because the other classes have subjects already. But now that we are testing all over, we are going to be adding to GSS1. So I'm going to add mathematics and English. So mathematics, this is the class GSS1, secondary school. So we don't have a syllabus, so we just leave syllabus here and submit. So where it's going to bring us now, it has brought us here for us to add the second subject, which is English. So I'm going to add English language also for GSS1, and then I click on submit, and as you can see, it has been added. Now so let's go to subjects, and when we see the list of subjects, we will see that those subjects have been added to those classes. Okay, you can see now, here's the mathematics, and then we have every other thing that we need in there. Multiple registration, single registration, you can have an online class, you can set exam for that subject, you can take out the scores of students and all these things. Okay, so that is that about that for subject addition. Now that we've added classes and we've added subjects, the next thing we want to do is we can add now students to a class that has subjects. So in order to add students, you click on students, and you can use 2 methods. You either add the single student or you add the bulk students. So here we'll be dealing with the bulk student creation, because the single student creation, you simply just input the data of the students, and that one you just click on add a student. Let's click on that and see it. So you just put in the information of the students and submit. That's all. So not no big deal. But the one that may be a bit tricky is the one we want to deal with, which is the bulk student creation. As you can see now, we are creating bulk students. You understand? So we download an example of the file. When you download an example, you can see the file has downloaded. We are going to open that file now, and then when we open the file, as you can see, that is it there. So I'm going to open it with Excel. It's an Excel file, and then we edit the content of the file to suit our new. Remember, we are putting the students in GS1. So I want to put 2 students in GS1, and I want to change their names. So this one says Fini Johnson Adam. Let's enable editing. So I want to change the first student's name to Femi Brainerd Abbey, and I'll change the name of the second student to Nike Kemi Nike. Yeah, that sounds cliche, but let's do that. So this one is female. We change that to FE, female, yes. Okay. So now we have the email address. You can just leave that. The parent's name, let's leave all that. And I think that's the information we need. Okay, so we have admission number. In case you want to change it, let's change it. Since the other ones have used this admission number, we can make this one 3, and we make this one 4. It's just up to the school. You can do whatever you like. Alright, so now that we have done this, we can save this file. Now remember, the students are going to GS1. So we are going to put GSS1 dot the arm. Since the arm is A, that's the only class we created, GSS1A. We do the same thing for the second students, GSS1A. As you can see, we put in 1 there. So you can see that's what we have here. GSS1.A, GSS1.A, and the system should have no problem with it. So this is, as you can see, the file is bulk reg 3. We'll go outside for bulk reg 3 now, and we'll upload it. So let's choose file here. Okay, that's bulk reg 3. I'm going to upload. I'm submitting. The system is going to roll now and register those children in those classes in GS1 specifically. So if I go to GS1, I want to check the students there. I'll be seeing those students. Okay, as you can see, they've been added to the system. Both of them are in GS1. Femi Brainerd Abbey and Nike Kemi and Nike. As you can see, they are both in GS1. The system has given them usernames and it has given them password. As you can see, you can check their information, their parents' details, their report card history, all those things there. You can check their affected domain directly or their report card by clicking on their names, and you can view their pictures by clicking on view. So that settles all about that. Alright, now that we have the students in the system, we've seen that we are going to now look at teachers. We are going to try to create a teacher now and then see how we input scores into the system. So let us look at the creation of a teacher now. We are going to create a teacher. We click on teachers. You can see there's all teachers, add a teacher. So since I want to add a teacher now for GS1, I'll click on add a teacher. Okay. So when we are done, we'll go and check our list of all teachers and see that that teacher has married. Alright. So I'm going to choose a subject for this teacher. Since the teacher is in GS1, I want to pick the GS1 subject, Maths and English. Alright. And the class I will select GS1. The picture, we don't have any picture for the teacher. The name of the teacher can be JSS1A teacher. And just make that the name of the teacher. Teacher's qualification, that can be done later. And then we submit. So the system is going to create a username and password for the teacher also for that particular class. Alright. So now that we have done that, you can see the teacher has been created. You can see this is the password and this is the username of the teacher. As you can see, so okay, I guess so. I mixed it up. I was starting with teacher before I started, but same thing. Anyway, so this is the username and this is the password for that teacher. And that teacher has been assigned those GS1 subjects. So the teacher is not a class teacher. And if it's not, as you can see, class teacher says it's not a class teacher. These two are class teachers. I want to make the teacher a class teacher because if the teacher is not a class teacher, we will not be able to do affective domain and we will not be able to look at the report card of the students. So let's make that teacher a class teacher. So we come in and we go under teachers, we will see class teachers. So we click on class teachers and then we're going to make the teacher a class teacher now. Okay, now so you can see now these are 3 teachers here. Let's make our extra teacher by clicking create class teacher. We make our new teacher the class teacher. Okay, so we click on the name of the teacher, that's JS1A teacher, and then we put the class and we submit. So right now that we have made the teacher a class teacher of JS1A, that teacher will have access to all those things. Remember, if the teacher is not made a class teacher, the teacher cannot have access to many of the features that class teachers have access to, like report cards, effective domain, and this. So we're going to log in now as the teacher. So we don't know the username and password, so let's go to the list of teachers and get the username and password from this. Let's click on all teachers, and then we open another tab. In this new tab now, then that will now be logging in as that teacher. Okay, so we're waiting for teachers to open up. The network is a bit low on my head here, but no problem, it should get us through. Okay, so I think the network is stuck now, so I'm going to try to reload my network, okay, while we work this together. Okay, so let me reload my network. I will just be shooting it off and back on. Okay, that's reloaded. Alright, so I simply reload my page here. Okay, so it's faster now. So we are on the teachers list now. So I'm going to open on that tab now, where I'm going to open the Olive Garden portal again, and then I'm there now. So I will simply click on login, and then I will copy the username and password from here. So the username is this, and then let's put that there, and the password of the teacher is this. So I copy that also, I put that here. Alright, so click on login, and this should take us straight to the portal of the teacher. But I'm going to be saving that password. So here we are in the teacher's portal. You can see since the class teacher now, he has classes, and then it has students. You can view report cards, you have scores, you have affective domain, because we made the person class teacher. If it's not a class teacher, you will still see some of these things, but you won't see all. But here we have access to the broadsheet and everything. So the first thing we want to look at is imputing scores for the students. So we go to scores, we click on impute scores. So now that I've clicked on impute scores, we are going to see the display of the subject. So we go to box score input, because that will take us to where we can see all the students and all the scores for a particular subject, for this particular subject. So we start with mathematics. We click on box score input. That will take us to where we are going to input scores for mathematics. As you can see, the score, this is Femi Benadade and Kenny Anike. As you can see, multiple test is 30, exam is 70. If you click on this, I'm going to just put any score I like over 30 and any score I like over 70. So here too, any score I like over 30, any score I like over 70. So I click on submit. That will record the score in the database so that it goes across everywhere that it is needed. And then now that it has been submitted, as you can see, I'll simply click on, it's going to bring you back here to show you submitted, and then I'll click on next subject, and that will take me to the next subject. So you can, instead of going back to the list of subjects, you can just say, well, now we are in English. We've done the mathematics for JS1, we are in English now. We simply just also put random scores there. Are you getting as we feel appropriate? And then we see how the students would respond to that. So, yes, let us submit. I don't know, this looks too close. That's one. So I'll submit that. That will record the scores. And then when the scores are recorded, we've entered into the system. We can then do the affective domain. When we're done with the affective domain, we can then look at the report card of the student. So this is how the teachers impute scores into the system. Okay, so I've submitted that. The system is loading. The scores have been submitted, and then we are here. If you click on next subject, it goes back to mathematics, because there are only 2 subjects in the system, as you can see. And mathematics, we have already imputed scores already. So that is how that will work. Alright, so now that we've done this course, the next thing we want to look at is we can start with the broadsheets. We can look at the broadsheet to show us the scores and of the students for GS1. As you can see, GS1 is my class, so I can view the broadsheet. You can see because it's a class teacher, that's why this can be done. You can see the broadsheet. This is first, second, their percentages are calculated. You can see the scores are green. Scores are green because they are past scores. Assuming they are failed scores, they will not be green. They will be in a different color and dark red. So to show that they are failed, so that pass and fail can easily be recognized, by the teacher. All right, so that takes care of that for the broadsheet, as you can see. And then we have the single subject broadsheet also. If you want to look at broadsheets for just mathematics, you click on that. You are seeing just mathematics. You can see who came first in mathematics. So this will help us with knowing prize giving, how you can give prizes. So we can click on English to see who came first in English. That will give us a nice prize giving, as you can see. Alright, so now that we've seen both of them, we have no problems. We can move ahead. Alright, so the next thing we want to look at is to do the affective domain. We've seen the scores. We want to look at the psychomotor and the affectives for those two students. So we're going to create affective domains for them. So we click on View Affectives for GS1. This will bring us all the GS1 affective domains. As you can see, there is no student here because affective domain has not been created. The affective domain is deductible. So when you click on Create Affectives, it brings us here, and then we select the students. See, there are two students. Once we create for the first one, the first student will no longer be there. So we just give values between 0 and 4 or 5, I think. Okay. 0, 1. Don't mind me, I'm just grasping at straws here. And we do a comment. You can say, nice performance this year. Nice performance this year. And then we submit that. And the one that has been submitted, problem solved. It has created for that student. So you can see the boy is gone. We are left with Nike, Kenya, and Nike only showing in this portal because that one has been done. So we do for the second student also. This method makes it faster because if we have to come back, if he has to take us to the list and then teachers have to click to come back here again to do the second student, that could be frustrating. So that's why this is better. It can be done. So for the student, you can say very amazing results for you. I don't know. So submit that. And then we can see it still brings us back there, but now there are no students to select. You can see it's empty because we've done for the two students. So we can easily view the affectives by clicking on the list of affectives. We will now see that there are two affectives there now instead of one. So let's click on View Affectives, and we should see our two students. You can see there with their comments, which is going to show in their report card. So now let's go straight and view the report card. So we view report cards. Now the report card we are viewing is a list of report cards that will show us report cards of all students in the classes at a glimpse. We have the single report card view and we have the multiple report card view. So I think my network is playing around again. Sorry about that. It's what we are facing these days. But it's nice. So we're going to do that. Okay, so here we have the list of the students for us to view. And come and let me get back on that. Hold on. Click here. Okay, so class report cards. So we have two report card buttons there, but the one we are going to use to check report cards is class report cards. I will be removing the view report cards button. Please remind me to remove that from there. Okay, so this is for class report cards. It shows all the report cards of all the students at a glance, and we can also select whichever years we want to view in that regard. Okay. So you just click on class report cards and you should have all that there. As you can see, we still have our network dealing with us. Okay. So my network is always tripping off. So I'll just reset it. Okay. So now that it has been reset, if we load, we should have a faster response. Yes. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to display it right now. Times the network problems for MTN. I don't know, it's never done.